Hello there, you're watching Sports Tonight Live, the home of opinionated, passionate but intelligent sporting debate. Coming up, the best bits of the week. Whatever you think of them, make sure you get in touch with your views at any time on Twitter, @SportsTonightTV.
We've got a bit of work for you at home to do. @SportsTonightTV is our Twitter handle. We want you to tell us about your football stars who look like film stars. Rio Ferdinand's been on Twitter today saying that he'd like to be the Black James Bond. Let's have a look at Rio here. Does Rio look like a good James Bond for you?
He's quite a stylish guy, isn't he? So you know, he can probably pull it off, I think.
You think he looks all right holding the old gun with a silencer?
Referee might not like it. But,
We've got a couple of other ones for you. There we go. Now, I have to tell you at home. I have to tell you at home. Now, I'm a little bit shocked because I actually didn't know that the chaps had those ones lined up. So they've stitched me up a little bit. But I didn't look too bad on the Spider-Man one, did I?
I thought you were quite good Superman as well. Didn't you? The power of flight.
Yeah, to be fair, that's not too bad. I love that. There we go. There's my Spider-Man one.
It's quite a cheeky grin there as well.
Yeah, quite a charismatic
Friendly
grin.
neighbourhood Spider-Man.
And the Superman one. Let's see. I don't think that's too bad. I don't know why I've still got the glasses on for that one. That's not too bad.
Bradford were almost unbackable. We said Villa could get the draw. What's happened, Elliot?
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's another header, another set piece.
Who to, Elliot?
Sorry to Bradford, I should have said. 3-1. McHugh, who's played quite well all night at the back, he's come forward, smacked in a header from sort of 16 yards out or so. It's a pretty good header.
I'm not being funny. Elliot.
What
Honestly,
a header.
I'm watching this game. I watched this game the second half. Just see that corner of my eye. Honestly, if I watch this game for the first time, I would think that Bradford were the Premier League side.
Well, the thing is, I mean, Elliot, obviously,
No
backing
doubt
it
about it.
2-1, that was all about desire. All right, McHugh just showed more desire than any other. As Benteke has let him go and turn his back on him. The young lad, he's only 19. He's been let go by a few clubs, so he's tried to resurrect his career at Bradford. That's all about desire in the penalty box, and if you're going to hurt yourself. Villa players are not prepared to hurt themselves. And if I was your QPR fan, if I was in any other team at the bottom looking at this game, I'd be thinking, do you know what? That's done us a mate. Yeah. Reading, we'd be looking at Brian McDermott, looking at Martinez, Wigan, thinking, that's handy. This will really impact on Aston Villa's season.
Definitely, without shadow of doubt. I think some of these Bradford boys are pushing for that FIFA World 11, don't you? On the back of this.
Lancashire, Yorkshire 11.
I mean, if someone goes to Spain, they get in it. Narky World.
But this isn't a smashing game. You know, Arsenal when it was 1-1, and then Bradford a better side for half an hour, and Arsenal battered them for the last 20 minutes and couldn't score. This isn't one of those games. This is an end-to-end game where you couldn't tell which was the Premier League and which was the Division 2.
Arsenal
I would be worried as a Villa fan if my team's playing like that against a Division 2 tie.
It's shipping so many goals. It's 8 goals. It's 4 goals. It's 3 goals. It's not 1 or 2 a game. It's on average now.
We've got a Villa fan here. See if he's worried. Look, he doesn't look worried to me. Elliot, are you worried or are you still calm as anything?
No, I still think we'll be fine in 2 weeks' time. If it got to 4-1, I'd be concerned, just because that's a terrible, terrible result and really, really bleak.
How do you rate 4-1 a terrible result and 3-1?
Well,
if it stays
4-1
3-1, not a terrible result?
4 is always a smashing in football. 3 is kind of, well, you know, 2-1.
You're playing, Elliot, you're playing a Division 2 side.
I agree, but it's not even half-time in the game. That's my point.
Right, so you're still 3-1 down at half-time against a Division 2 side who are not even top of Division 2. I think they're about a point outside the playoffs.
Yeah,
so this isn't a team that's running away with Division 2. This is probably above average Division 2 side. Not a brilliant one.
Yeah, and it's a very poor Premier League side as well. I mean, let's not forget that we're struggling in the Premier League. But I think if, and I believe when we turn it around in 2 weeks' time, the first leg won't matter. It's
finished 3-1 to Bradford. Let's go to Elliot. Give us a little bit of a roundup, Elliot.
Yeah, I think they probably deserve to win. Maybe not by 2, but they certainly deserve to win. They were much better from set pieces, both defending and offending. I think the key moment was Bent missing that chance at 2-0, the open goal. I think if it goes to 2-1 a little bit earlier, we may have had a chance of an equaliser. And then another fairly dopey goal from a set piece. I mean, Kieran Clark's many things. He's not Premier League centre-back. And tonight, he's not in the League 2 centre-back. and he's been the constant thread in all our thumpings. And he's a young guy, but he's 23, so he's not that young anymore. And I suspect, in a way, this may force Lerner's hand a little bit to give Lambert some more money. It might not be the worst thing in the world, but it's all about Southampton now on Saturday, and then Swansea and Newcastle after that. Three very, very big.
Well, Elliot, a massive result for Bradford. A big result. Twitter has got absolutely mad about people, about your opinions, your calmness. You are trending worldwide. Come back after the break, and we'll talk and read you through all the Elliot Aston Villa tweets.
2-0!
Come on.
And Danny Graham has done it for Swansea. David.
Oh, I can't believe
What
it.
have they done?
Out of nothing.
Again, Ivanovic again. Oh my God, this cup competition is just a surprise result. Surprise result. We've been all over them and they've beaten us 2-0. It's going to end 2-0. I mean, there's, 2 minutes left. I can't see us getting a goal. We should have had Demba Ba on so much earlier because he's been much better. Wow.
He got the ball. He didn't know there was Danny Graham behind him. He back passed to the goalkeeper, woefully short. In comes Danny Graham round the keeper. Very nearly missed it actually, Graham, because the defenders got back on the line. And he's put
Do you know what it is? There's no direction on the football side at Chelsea. No. It is as Dave said, it is the owner of Abramovich playing FIFA manager, but for real. And Ray Wilkins got sacked because he actually spoke out against Abramovich on some of the tactics, some of the football decisions. So he's gone.
Yeah.
So there's a culture of fear at Chelsea. Think actually, I better not say what I really think. And even
but the thing is, David, would you be happier if Abramovich wasn't there?
No, we love Abramovich. We've had the most successful period in our history under Abramovich. So it'd be difficult to speak out against him for what he's done for the club.
David, if you spoke out against him, he'd be off. Chelsea fans have been really clever. At any other club, the situation we're in now, the board of directors and the chairman and the owner will be getting absolutely annihilated because there's no direction, there's no cohesion there. But Chelsea fans are really clever because they know if they start turning against him, he'll just say, thanks very much, I'm not interested in football anymore.
Darren has phoned us. He's a Chelsea fan. He's just been at the bridge. Darren, what are your feelings?
Embarrassing. Unfortunately, it's 2 defensive mistakes, but it's more than that. It's, again, down to the tactically inept manager that we've got and the substitutions that he isn't making. 40,000 of us can see it from the stands tonight. It's absolutely unbelievable how he can't see the changes himself.
Well,
and we've been cost for it.
Well, we've had this discussion here tonight, and the general consensus of opinion here seems to be it's not actually the manager making these decisions. He can't take Torres off before the 80th minute.
Why not?
Because Abramovich will have his head.
Well, he managed to take him off against QPR at home last Wednesday. If you're going to take him off after 80 minutes, you might as well take him off after an hour. That game was screaming out for Bar. Bar created 3 chances in 5 minutes, more than Torres did in 85. He then decides to bring on Marin with 87 minutes gone. I mean, what's he going to do as a flair player for 3 minutes? And he still persists with playing Louise as a holding midfielder when there's no need for him when you're 1-0 down in a game that you need to win. It's just completely tactically inept. He's got no plan A, never mind plan B. It's just embarrassing. You've got a guy that scored 2 goals on debut, but because of this whole Torres thing that he has to play, he then. I mean, what other club in the country? Or what other club in European football has that mentality and has that attitude?
Darren, you're not any other club in Europe. It's run by different rules. No other club in Europe is run by the rules that Chelsea are run by. And at the moment, you've got nobody there who's making football decisions. It's the owner who's making football decisions, and that's why your club is aimless at the moment.
Okay, so we're talking Bradford, and obviously we're talking there Coventry and Preston going to penalties. 9 penalty shootouts in a row for Bradford City. Bottle, fate, what do you call it?
There's a lot to do with momentum as well, I think, and you just get that belief. And I'm sure Robin will tell me what it's like to be on a run when you're in a successful winning team. It hasn't happened to me very often. But you talked about Valley Parade. You could tell just watching it on TV, the place was absolutely jumping. the crowd are behind you, the players believe it. They've obviously got faith in Phil Parkinson, who's
a good
got them
footballing
going.
man.
Yeah, he's been around and
tactically right.
he knows what he's doing. And it would have been, I would struggle to find someone who would have backed Villa yesterday. Anyone that knows football would know what the atmosphere is going to be like, know what that team is going to be like going into that game. These are professional footballers. Yes, they're Division 2, League 2, but these are high-quality athletes.
We've got Mark Lawn, who's the Bradford City chairman, on the phone. And Mark, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
When you look at the club and you see 25,000 against Arsenal, 22,000 against Villa, that's what that stadium was built for.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to look. I mean, they do say about sleeping giants, but we have got a decent fan base. I think that proved it. And I think, you know, we've certainly got a better fan base than where we are, and probably deserve to be, for the fans alone, in somewhere about in the Championship at least.
Mark, what would this cup run mean to Bradford in terms of their finances? I've noticed reading the paper on the way up here that people are starting to sniff around Nucky Wells a little bit now. Will the cup run sort of allow you to invest more in the club and look for promotion?
Yeah, I think, you know, he's looking at bringing in 2 or 3. We just signed in a young lad tomorrow until the end of the season to strengthen the squad a little bit, because there's a few of them a little bit jaded and we need to give them a bit of a break. So I think we're looking in at bringing in maybe 3 or 4, to be fair.
Yeah, well, you were talking about, I think I read that you'd actually wiped out your debt with the Arsenal game. And yeah, was this actually put you into profit now? Yeah, was this
No, we worked out. We've made about £1 million on the whole run, and we'd put a deficit together of around about 700,000. So, you know, it means that we've got a little bit of profit carrying on, and we can strengthen the squad a little bit. And I'd have to tell you, it's not cheap to get players. So we're playing 4 players, and he's looking at bringing players from higher leagues in. So it won't be cheap getting their wages, I can tell you that. But if he gets us through and gets us promoted, yeah, it's worth it.
As supporters, we've sort of engaged with other supporters and we've seen them celebrating on social media and local news and so on and so forth. Have you been able to enjoy the matches as they've actually been going, or have you had to wait till afterwards to enjoy it?
No, I'm nervous when we play anybody, so it's terrible for me, sort of thing. So, yeah, I'll be just as nervous against Oxford on Saturday. I'm awful. I kick every ball. It's awful. In fact, my wife won't sit next to me.
Well, yeah, sorry, Neil. I don't blame her, Mark, to be honest. But listen, the big thing is now, is it your role? Is your role now at Bradford City? Is that now going to have to grow, and you're going to have to sort of learn as you go, because you've been in League 2, you hope to go to League 1, you hopefully go to Wembley. So it's on the up. The place is geared up now to go back where it belongs.
Yeah, it's our job now to get maximum income so we can give Phil as much money as we possibly can. I mean, that's what we're geared up for. If we can earn more money from sponsorship and things, then we can put more money on the pitch, and that's what it's all about.
My big gripe, and I'm getting it off my chest right now, is that I don't think Spurs fans appreciate the job that Harry Redknapp did when he was at White Hart Lane. Ricky, first of all.
Yes.
Agree?
To a certain extent, I think the job that he done and getting us in the Champions League and finishing 4th, you know, for other managers that are coming to try and do it, and Redknapp actually done it, and we played attractive football. I don't think that a lot of Spurs fans do have enough appreciation for what he done.
I think you're bang right. I've got the stats here: 144 games, 71 wins, 37 draws, 30-6 defeats, 49% win ratio. You always say anything over 40% is top class.
Yeah, exactly, yeah? And that goes with goal scorers as well. But when you do look at the with Harry, he won games and he also drew games. And I don't like the win percentage. I like the percentage of what you actually got beat. Because obviously, sometimes a point on the road is a good point. So again, they can be a little bit misleading.
So, and also misleading is the 57 win percentage. Don't worry, I'm coming to you in a second. The 57% for Andre Villas-Boas, because it's been there a shorter time.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, I've been on record saying how good Tottenham are. I think Tottenham are probably the best side at the moment, especially on the road. Also, they're my tip for the FA Cup because they've got 2 good players for every single position. So I don't think they'll be weakened by the Europa League. I don't think they'll be weakened by an FA Cup run. And I think they go from strength to strength.
The interesting thing is that everything they've got now is because of the foundations laid by Harry Redknapp. But you're not having it, are you?
No, Harry Redknapp inherited a brilliant Tottenham side that had.
That was 2 points from 8 games and at the bottom of the Premier League.
Under a manager that didn't know what he was doing, under Ramos. But that said, any manager worth his salt could take on that team. The same thing he said about AVB about going to Chelsea. Benitez at Chelsea saying any manager worth his salt could manage that team. Yeah, Modric, who was we didn't know at the time, but one of the best midfielders in Europe.
Underachieving.
Bale, who Redknapp, we should add, nearly let go to Nottingham Forest on loan.
But he was underachieving.
He was underachieving, but these were quality players, and he got them playing well, as any good manager should, or any manager who's been paid the kind of money he is paid should. I'm not saying he's a bad manager. In fact, he's a very good manager, and he was good for Spurs, but he was probably marginally better than Martin Jol was. And
Stop a second. If you agree with what Gareth's saying, I want you to get in touch, particularly if you're a Spurs fan. I know lots of you follow his podcast, very popular indeed on the web, so you'll probably all be on his side. But at Sports Tonight TV, I want to hear from Spurs fans on this, because I don't agree with what Gareth is saying. But your argument is that he came in and did what he was expected to do.
No, he was expected to save us from relegation. It turned out that we had a much better squad and a team than we thought we had. And you have to be given credit for doing that. But before that, before Ramos, Jol got us to 5th place finish, nearly on the brink of Champions League football on one occasion when we had a dodgy lasagna and that sorted it for that season. But that was with a much weaker team.
But the big difference is that the psychological barriers that Harry Redknapp managed to get Spurs through. Couldn't win against Chelsea, sorted that out. Couldn't win against Arsenal, sorted that out. And he got you into the Champions League. And when he got you into the Champions League, you got to the quarterfinals. You spent £8 million. Manchester City spent over £300 million and couldn't get out of their group. This is the reason why. And I want to bring you also in, chaps, because I know you're sort of on the fence a bit, but you've got to give Harry Redknapp credit where it's due, and the Spurs fans aren't doing it at the moment.
Yeah, and also Van der Vaart was a massive... I think Harry's one of the managers that he'll get the best out of the players that sometimes may fall by the wayside. But I think you've got to give massive credit for AVB as well, because when he went in there, everyone was smashing him like clubbing a seal, because he was defenceless, because of his record at Chelsea. He's gone in there, and they didn't get off to a good start. So all of a sudden, the bandwagon starts rolling again. But for me, that they are probably one of the most exciting teams to watch.
Yeah,
got goals throughout.
I agree with all of that, Flash. I agree with all of that.
I don't think we can knock him.
I don't think we can knock him, and I don't think we should knock him, Ricky. I think when you've got a situation like a young, vibrant manager who's got good ideas like AVB, how can you knock him? What I'm saying is his predecessor hasn't had enough credit, and I think a lot of people...
But why should we give credit to a predecessor? They've gone
because he's built the foundations on which AVB is succeeding.
Well, has he though?
I mean, yes, he has. Yes,
they were falling apart. Did they not win? They didn't hardly win a game, did they, from February onwards?
Well, this is the point I'm trying to make. They were falling like a stone. When he took over, not only were they low in terms of their league position, but their confidence was low as well. And Harry Redknapp came in, gave confidence to Bale, gave confidence to Modric, got the side playing better football, the Tottenham way, if there is such a thing.
You can't deny what Redknapp did on the pitch. He turned us into a very good, attacking, exciting team to watch. His accolades fell upon Tottenham, and rightly so, because we were very exciting to watch. There's a side issue here that we haven't mentioned, is the fact that he doesn't the way. The people you employ in your club, you expect to be treated with respect. You expect that they hold the Tottenham name with the right regard, and Redknapp didn't do that. He undermined the person that runs a club isn't the football manager. It's the chairman, and Daniel Levy is the person who runs Tottenham Hotspur, and Redknapp done his best to undermine Levy in certain situations.
But Gareth, that's politics. But that's all politics. That's all stuff behind the scenes. Listen. I don't always have the best relationship with my wife at home, but that don't really matter. If we come out, we're unified.
No, it does matter.
Why does it matter?
It does matter.
As a fan, what you should be caring about is the relationship between the players on the pitch and the manager. Chiji said to you earlier in the show, it doesn't matter what we didn't score goals. You can say we had chances, you can say with this, scoring goals, winning games, that's what the manager and the player's job is to do, and that's what he was doing.
It's not their only job. Their job is also to be a good in public relations, to actually think that the people that are funding this club and the people that are shelling out tons of their own money to go and watch them play Are they being respected? Am I saying the right things that would...
Is that right? I'm staggered by this belief. Go on.
My point isn't that the players probably don't care. Why would they? I mean,
exactly.
it's slightly different in Flash's day, but the players now don't really care about their shirt.
No, he's right.
No, but
There's been a big shift.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about the fans. The fans care how the people that are involved in their club talk about Tottenham Hotspur. I care when I go into the ground. I've got a manager who respects what I think, and it's not just. It's the way he put a wedge between himself and the club, but also the fans. He often referred to us as them, as opposed to we. And you're smiling, but that means something.
Gareth, come on. I mean, you surely don't care about that.
I do care about that.
That matters to you.
It does matter to me greatly. I think that there should be a unity at a club, and when Redknapp was there wasn't.
Do you see that now under AVB?
Certainly, I think that AVB refers and talks in the right way, and it isn't a difficult thing to do. All he has to do is think about what he's saying and the effect of his words. With Redknapp, you got the impression that this is my bandwagon, and with Redknapp, it's about how do I progress my legacy. And he's talking about, and the same thing's happened at QPR already. This will be the greatest thing I ever achieve. What about the fans? How good would it be for them if they stay up? This will be the greatest thing that I ever do as a football manager. I don't care. Yeah, you're employed by QPR.
Yeah, goal for Reading in their game against West Brom. That could be tight, Flash.
Yeah, well, you know that Reading, they play for 95 minutes and they've got goals on their bench. There's Hunt on the bench, there's Lafondra on the bench. And the big thing with this, we said before the game that we felt that Reading's best opportunity would come from Kebe or McAnuff, because their matchup against the two fullbacks of West Brom was well have joy. And they're just telling me it was Kebe who scored.
Interesting. At the Medeski Stadium, they'd been very defensive early on, but they're coming out to play and giving West Brom a very hard time. The Bet Butler is waiting to update us on the empire. So too is the stats mayor, Chris Graham. Chaps.
Yeah, obviously Reading, can they make a comeback? You know, West Brom were unbackable 1-80 favourites. They're not 1-80 favourites now, they're 1-8. You know exactly what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. It's going to be all Reading. I remember the 3-3 game where Reading kept on going and going and going. And can they do that again? They're 33-1 to win the game, 9-2 to draw, 1-8 West Brom. I'd be more interested in the draw here at 9-2 rather than the Reading 33-1, because I think 9-2 might be a little bit of a bet.
That's interesting, because Reading have got a terrible record in the last 15 minutes of games. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was another goal for West Brom here. They conceded 12 goals in the last 15 minutes of Premier League games this season, so that's quite worrying.
Just as you join us, Reading have equalised. Adam Lafondra scoring a penalty in the 88th minute. West Brom throwing it away after being 2 goals to the good in front, and one man in this studio called it. Flash.
Well, the big thing you've got to remember with Reading is that they go all out. So when they went 4-5-1, they've almost been tempered. So when you 2-0 down, you throw caution to the wind. You go back to what you do best, and that's attack, attack, attack. Now, as soon as it went 2-1, we said, this team goes for 95 minutes. They got Lafondra on the bench. They've got Hunt on the bench. They've got goals. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we hear from another goal going in there, and it's 3-2.
Well, let's go to the Bet Butler and see what the odds are on Reading coming out on top from this match, because it's been an extraordinary affair. Oh, my word! Bet Butler! It's 3-2!
It's 3-2, and there are 200-1 to win this game. Reading West Brom were 1-80 to win the match. You've got to look at the subs benches. You've got to look at the players. We said Lafondra, we said Hunt on the bench. They could come on and change the game. Lafondra scored the penalty. They were 2-0 up West Brom, and were 1-100 on West Brom to win the game. Reading were 200-1 to win this game of football. The draw, just to come to me, was going to be 1-7. It's the biggest turnaround. We said Reading keep going and going and going. Lafondra's done the business. We don't know who's got the third goal, but Reading are now gone from 200-1 outsiders to 1-50 favourites in a space of 5 minutes.